Hi guys, so when it comes to maximally stimulating your muscles or giving the muscles you've got the best chance to develop and grow, we need to challenge that area of the body as best we can. Now, one way we can do that is by making the exercises we perform as inefficient as possible. So what I mean by inefficient is by making the exercises as challenging as possible for you, so you find them very, very hard. Now, there's numerous ways of doing this, which I allude to, but a lot of people talk about making exercises efficient. Now, the thing is, if you make exercise efficient, you're making them easier for you to perform, and you're performing them well within your needs. So we don't want that, okay? Now, if you're a power lifter, then it's within your interest to make the exercise very efficient, because you need to get the bar from A to B in as efficient, in the most efficient manner possible. Whereas we're not a power lifter here, we're looking at putting the muscle we're targeting under stress so it can develop, so it can adapt, so it can grow. So the best way of doing that is by making the exercise as hard as possible. So what a lot of people do when they think of this is instantly start to up the weight of the exercise, and that is not your first port of call. Your first port of call is to think, how can I make this exercise as hard as possible for myself through execution? Now, hopefully through the workouts that I've provided for you, which is giving you the cues that you can see, but you also can hear me saying in the background, that should set you up in an inefficient manner to make sure that that muscle we're targeting is being challenged in the hardest way possible. Okay, so you don't have to put loads of weight on in order to make sure it gets the desired training effect. So the first one being execution and just simple technique. You've then got the tempo. So a lot of people you see jerking movements or performing really quick movements, getting the whole body involved. So we want to make sure that the tempo you're performing at is in a controlled manner, okay, and that you're not bringing in the whole body, that you're doing it in a nice controlled state, which you know normally means slower, so that you're really targeting the muscle and it's getting an increased time under tension, okay, which is really imperative for that muscle to be targeted. So they're the first two protocols which I would target if I was you. You know, obviously there's another video on this about tempos, so listen to that on how you can slow down movements and what the numbers mean, etc. So look at them in relation to the programs and stuff. But ultimately, guys, you need to, your first protocol is execution technique, and second one is to slow the movement down so you're making sure you're in control of the movement. They should be enough to start off with to make sure you're making the exercises as challenging as possible for you and as inefficient for you as possible without upping the weight. Granted, at times you will inevitably have to up the weight. Do not be frightened to up the weight, but do not increase the weight and sacrifice technique and your execution of the exercise. Okay, if you want any more, if you've got any more questions on this topic, then feel free to fire them my way in the Facebook group or message me privately. But it's within our interest to make the exercises inefficient for our body, not efficient.